Superman is weak? Alright, let's really pick this apart just a little bit. Superman has went 3 straight years without losing a single battle. 3 straight years undefeated. Now, we don't know how many battles he's fought and how strong his opponents were, but given this is a world that has had metahumans thriving for 300 years with established intergalactic beings and monsters, and Superman being dubbed the strongest on Earth, it's safe to say he has probably sparred with some formidable foes, at least in the power scaling context of this universe. His first loss came at the hands of specifically the Hammer of Baravia. That is Ultraman with armor. Ultraman, in this film, is a clone of Superman, so another Kryptonian, who, according to Lex Luthor, is said to be stronger than Superman. Now, whether Lex is talking out of his ass or not, it's safe to say Ultraman is at least as strong and comparable. Now let's add the fact that he is also receiving combat hacks and commands from Lex via a command center to counter Superman's every move. Quick recap. Superman lost to the Hammer of Baravia, an enemy who is a Kryptonian clone that is at a minimum as strong as Superman, possibly stronger, in armor with combat hacks and cheats. And this makes Superman weak? Forget the fact that Superman casually lifts and relocates a 319-foot, 18,397,576 pound kaiju. Yes, according to Mr. Terrific's data, that is the weight of the kaiju. And before you all try to Google for comparison, I already took care of it. Legendary Godzilla weighs approximately 220 million plus pounds. You're welcome. Thank me in the comments. Forget the fact that Superman was able to sustain long-term exposure to the anti-proton river, a phenomenon that is briefly explained by Mr. Terrific, one of the smartest beings on the planet, as something that would, quote, tear us apart in seconds. Now, a counter-argument to the anti-proton river would be that some of the raptors had some exposure to the river as well, and they seemed fine. Well, I would assume that their specialized gear probably had some significant level of resistance to this particular phenomenon, given Lex Luthor's genius and providing his employees with personal protective equipment to keep them as safe as possible and work effectively in the workplace environment. So, either Mr. Terrific is wrong or the Raptor's gear is optimized for the anti-proton river exposure. I would put my money on Mr. Terrific being correct given his genius, leaving the proton-resistant Raptor gear as being the most logical and likely explanation. Forget the fact that Superman used his breath to catapult him and the rest of the group out of the anti-proton river and black hole. Forget the fact that Supes delivered after being doused with serious kryptonite poisoning, and I'm assuming likely only moderate exposure to the sun for regeneration before going back into battle to fight and ultimately whooping Planet Watch's ass. That is the Engineer, Ultraman, and the Raptors.
Good luck with that.
Now, I say moderate healing, and Superman was unlikely back to 100% health because he did not go back to the Fortress of Solitude for accelerated healing, and he did not fly closer to the sun to absorb the energy. He went back to Smallville inside of a house overnight and sat outside on a porch in the morning before getting called back into battle. These are just some incredible feats of strength from Superman. Despite what a lot of Superman detractors and Snyder bros are out there telling people, this Superman is far from weak in his universe.
Keep the change, you filthy animal.